Hi, Sam. This is Jeff from Columbus.
Jeff from Columbus. What's on your mind, Jeff?
Not much. I was watching Andrew Yang there talk about his forward group, and I saw Tulsi is on Fox News now, and I wonder if they might reunite for a Unite the Grift tour.
That would be something to watch.
Yeah, I don't know how many people would, though.
Yes, not many.
Might be like Rubin's stadium tour with the
Exactly.
the vacancies and the seats, filling seats.
Exactly.
But
Go ahead.
it just seems there's just a ever-growing amount of people that have no direction whatsoever, no kind of funk, and they're trying to fake the funk to get elected, and it's just so obvious and so blatant.
I mean, I don't know what Andrew Yang actually thinks he's doing. I really don't. I mean, I know what Tulsi's doing. Tulsi just realized in the same way that sort of like Sarah Palin did was that, wait a second, I can make some cash here. And why would I be in Congress? I mean, look, you know, being a congressperson has got to be very frustrating. And unless you really enjoy the power of being a congressperson, which I would imagine for some people is just simply not enough in terms of their will to be sort of famous or celebrity. But I would imagine it's also somewhat frustrating if you have an actual agenda and it's maybe only that agenda is what keeps you in it. So I can understand, like, you know, Tulsi saying like, wait a second, I could be, and somebody probably said to her at one point, is my guess, somebody on Fox probably said to her, like, you could do this. You'd be good at this. And she'd be like, I wouldn't know how to do that. And you go, it's easy. It's the path for you is pretty easy. You leave Congress, you do a podcast, you do your own show for a little bit. We have you guest host, and that's it. I mean, that is the trajectory. It's not, you know, it's not that complicated if you're situated properly. But for Yang, like, the only thing I can imagine with Yang is he's just actually, you know, is got his head so far up his behind that he can't really tell like where the horizon is. And I think the guy's got enough money, and I'm sure this opens up different networking opportunities. And maybe he thinks this sets him up for another run somewhere. I don't know where that would be, frankly. But
is he going to try to? Is he going to try to convince like people that Joe Biden's like the second coming of Ho Chi Minh or what?
I mean, I don't know. I really don't get a sense of what his agenda is. I mean, I think it's really just on some level, it's like, you know, it's like Howard Schultz. It's like, you know, why was Howard Schultz running? It wasn't because deep down he has always felt that it's really important to have these type of earned income tax credits or something for people. It's because of just massive ego. Massive ego. Like, I mean, just contemplate a guy who runs for president, runs for mayor of a city, and genuinely wants to, like, do this, right? Be a politician, like, be in government. Like, what would you do? I think I would go and try and learn something. But instead, he's pushing a party that basically is just like their pitch is, we are just going to follow whatever the polls say and then temper it based upon our interests. Like, there's no, I just find it like impressive.
Yeah.
The hollowness and the emptiness, but appreciate the call.
You know, on Tulsi, one thing I've often mentioned how she was trolling Obama about not saying radical Muslims, but I'm looking at her Wikipedia because I also thought like she was trying to climb up the Democratic Party in the midst of all that radical Islamic terror thing, and then it stalled out, and it seems like then she pivoted. But I look at this old, from like 2004 Defense of Marriage era, and Tulsi was an gay marriage.
Yeah, no, we knew that.
Yeah, she's a huge homophobe. Her when she was one of the youngest members in the state legislature in Hawaii, with her father, who was one of the legislative leaders in Hawaii, they were very adamantly anti. Same-sex marriage.
And she had to sort of like back off that when things changed. And I think there's also like, I think she must have also realized like she grew up in an era where the Democrats, where like if she had come on the scene 10, 15 years earlier, she would have had a real career in the Democratic Party, because there was a lot more space for these type of like conservative Democrats. And, you know, we still have these corporatists, but they have to hide a little bit, and they cannot, you know.
I mean, it's crazy. Who would have thought, like, she's the anti-elite? Her dad was a bigot politician.
Yeah.
Like one of the most, like for years, one of the most powerful legislators in the state of Hawaii.